Fuck your God. Fuck your God. Fuck your God. Fuck your God. God damn it. Hey, this is Matthew of the Odd Atheist Friends. And over there is Eric. Hi, Eric.
Hey, Matthew. I really liked your intro.
Oh, did you dig that? I just really actually think of these things on the spur of the moment. You can tell, can't you?
I mean, isn't that our whole show, though?
Pretty much. So, anyways, what's going on, man? What's the haps? What's the weather? Because we seem to lead up every fucking show with the goddamn weather. So what's the weather like in fucking Fargo,
North Dakota? It is warm today. It's supposed to get up to 70 degrees, which it hasn't done very much yet. And it's been raining a lot, but right now it's not raining. It's actually sunny out. So that's cool.
Yesterday we had some brief mid-morning rain showers about 10, 11 o'clock. They were gone by like noon. She and I did a light grocery shopping, and then we drove out to Indiana Dunes yesterday and checked those out. So that was nice to go out there. Like I said, I haven't been there for like 30 years, and I literally forgot about Indiana Dunes. Because it's fucking Indiana, you know? Why go there? Jesus Christ. And so, yeah, we went there and checked it out. And, yep. And so we're going to look to do some, get some other nice beach stuff and maybe go there a couple of times this summer, hang out for the day. Because they open at like 7 o'clock in the morning. So get there early in the morning, hang out.
Nice.
Today it's going to be about 70 degrees, but it's overcast and shitty. It's supposed to be raining every day for the next week. It's like, gee, it seems like global warming has got us all late in the year because this spring weather should have already passed.
Yeah. I don't know what North Dakota normally is like, but I've heard it's supposed to be warmer right now. It's been being like 50 degrees, so.
Yeah, I think global warming has got us shifted a little bit late. It's like winter hangs on a little bit later, but it doesn't come in until later because it takes time to fucking dissipate that heat after the rotation of the planet, after the axis tilts. Yeah. So
I can definitely tell a difference of how long the sun stays out here, because in North Carolina, it would get dark around 9 o'clock in like July.
Yeah.
But here the sun is still out at 9 o'clock. It's ridiculous.
You know, during the height of the summer, like before the equinox, it's like in Chicago, it would be like 9:15, 9:20 would be sunset. And the sun, it would get dark. It would be sunset a little bit before that. But yeah, it would be pretty close to 9:30 at like the height. And so, you know, like I said, it should be warmer, but we're in all this spring weather, and, you know, the April showers bring May flowers. We're in fucking June.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, well, tomorrow is Labor Day for us. So today's the 26th. Tomorrow is Labor Day. And don't get me wrong. I mean, it should rain throughout the year, but this rain every day is April, not May. Do you know what I'm saying? We should be done with this rainy season crap.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you can't go with traditional thinking when the fucking earth is heating up.
Yeah. You know what I've been wanting? Portillos.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't they ship?
That's what you said. I haven't actually looked into it, but there's one in Minneapolis, and I'm thinking I'm going to go to Minneapolis next month. So,
yeah, they're pretty bombing.
I know, you got me hooked.
I'm sorry.
No, it's good. I like it.
Do you know, actually, one thing I've been thinking about doing is to go get some of their beef, because, you know, they got the Italian beef, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I want to make you can't really get gyudon here, which is you get rice and then you put the beef on top of it and then you add ginger and soy sauce, and then some people add a cracked egg on top of that, and it's super fucking good. Some shredded ginger, all goddamn day. And that's Japanese junk food. I'm just saying. So I am always down for gyudon, always, and sushi for lunch and dinner, not breakfast. I gotta have my American breakfast. But yeah.
Speaking of sushi, there's this restaurant here that I went to, and it's all you can eat sushi, but it's not like a buffet. It's like they make it at each roll for you and bring it out.
Awesome.
Which was really cool. It was like $30, but like you could get as much fucking sushi as you wanted, and I got a lot of sushi. And you could also get like standard appetizer type thing, like edamame and tempura, and you could also get hibachi or udon or ramen. I just mostly got sushi though. But
let me tell you something, like real ramen blows away anything ramen that most people do inside their house. It's like ramen at a Japanese restaurant will fucking blow your mind. You know what I'm saying? It's amazing. So it's not just the noodles, but all the stuff that they add into it too. And there's only one thing that makes me mad or annoyed about eating ramen in a Japanese restaurant, and that is that it's common to slurp.
Oh yeah.
It's like, stop that shit. It's like every time Sachi and I would go into like a restaurant, I'd put in my headphones, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I can't listen to people fucking slurp." Because it's not polite in at least for me. It was like, you didn't slurp your food. It was like, if you slurped, you got fucking backhanded, or at least swatted upside the back of the head. It's like, don't slurp your food.
That's definitely a cultural difference.
Yeah, but it's like, they're all slurping their food. Which reminds me, I know this is kind of gross, but anyways, one of the things that I've seen in Japanese porn is like, if you ever seen, I know this is weird. Okay, just roll with me.
I like it.
Is that when you see like, if you watch Japanese porn, you see a girl getting her pussy licked, and it's like, you see like the guys will be like slurping at the vagina, like, and it's just like, don't get me wrong. I mean, eating vagina is the bomb, and I dig it. But don't slurp your food, God damn it.
Wow. That's a really good morning.
Good morning. Let's talk about your cup there for a second. I'm digging this cup. It says his with a mustache. Eric, you gotta do the mustache thing. There you go. Awesome.
I don't know. Stupid. But I dig it. I'm under the impression it's a like wedding type cup, like his and hers.
Yes.
But there was just his in the donation pile, and we were gonna throw this away. And I was like, nope, it's mine. And now it has my pronoun and my mustache.
Are you gonna keep it at work?
No, I don't actually drink coffee or anything at work, so it's useless.
Well, I mean, you could drink it for water and leave it on your desk.
I could. Or I could drink it on this podcast.
You can do that too.
But yeah, it's pretty cool.
So
also, I dyed my hair. It's now reddish pink because it fades very fast. But
I kind of like the red. It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I kind of dig it.
I've never done red, so tried something new.
I kind of dig it. I'm growing my shit out. It's actually, I need a haircut. It's been about 3 months since I've gotten a haircut. So I've got, I don't know, about 4 inches off the back of my head.
Yeah, I think it's looking pretty cool, actually.
I need to get a trim so it'll grow longer.
I'm growing this out so I can do a top knot.
Actually, I kind of dig that. I dig the top knot look.
Yeah, I do too. I'm getting there. It's going to be really cool.
I dig the top knot look. I do. So, but yeah, I need to get it trimmed. It's in that weird, awkward phase right now where it's a little bit too short to do anything with, but it's a little bit too long, and it kind of fucking does this shit. It kind of fucking Like weird strands like pop out at weird angles and shit. So
like Doc Browning it or something.
Yeah, pretty much.
I like that a lot.
I don't know if anybody might have noticed, but I'm wearing this thing. I don't know if I'm going to wear this thing for a while, but it's basically because I fell on some ice back in February and my arm still hurts. And so this thing is supposed to help your arm heal. It's basically like a strap that's supposed to put pressure on your arm and help your arm heal better. So I'm going to wear this for a while, a couple of weeks. See if I can't get my arm to heal up because it still fucking hurts. Because it popped out of joint. When I landed on it, I landed on my elbow perpendicular to the ground. And it popped out of joint. I felt it pop out of joint. I felt it pop back into joint. It fucking hurt. And so, yeah, it was out of joint for about a good half hour before it popped back in. It hurt a lot. And so I've had it x-rayed and that kind of stuff. And they said that I don't have any tears or torn anything or, you know, it just fucking hurts. So, and I've been using it quite a bit, you know, with working around the house and, you know, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to put this thing on to see if I can't. It seems to be working a little bit. I mean, it's a little bit over time.
Yeah, well, that's good that it's helping.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll wear this thing for a couple of weeks, see if it helps. It was pretty cheap. It was only like $30, but it had to ship from China, of course. So
China.
From China. So what's going on, Eric? What's the haps, man? What's the haps, dude? What's up?
I've been trying to get in touch with my emotions more. Reading a book about some emotions, going to counseling still, trying to lose weight, been going to the gym. I weighed 202 this morning. My start weight of the year was 212, and I was stuck at 206 for a long time. So 202 this morning. Whoop, whoop.
Whoop.
Once I get hit under 200, I'll be very stoked. My end goal weight is 175. But
I'd like to see. I was most comfortable and most happy with myself at about 140, 145. So I would like, because I'm about 100 pounds above that. And I would like to get back down to that again. I don't know if I will, but, you know, I've been on a diet now for a couple of weeks myself. And so, yeah, it's just cutting back on a lot of stuff. Cutting down sugars is fucking hard.
Yeah.
There's so much stuff that and it's like, you see this thing, and it's like I read an article or saw a TV show about, you know, about all the hidden sugars and that kind of stuff. Like, you know, like the little things that like Yoplait yogurt. Says it got like fucking 25 grams of sugar in that fucking little cup.
Shit.
25 grams of sugar in that little fucking cup, and that's diet? Fuck you.
Wow.
So
yeah,
we've been doing like the acacia seeds or whatever the fuck they are. Acacia seeds.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I never know what to fucking call them. Anyways, so like if I'm starting to feel a bit peckish, I'll put some of that in some yogurt and then either a little bit of honey or a little bit of maple syrup and mix that together. And it's just enough to take the edge off. Do you know what I'm saying? At least for me. It's just enough to take the edge off because I have acid reflux. And if I go to bed on an entirely empty stomach, I'll wake up with bad acid in the morning. So there's got to be something for it to chew on, but just a little bit. Do you know what I'm saying? And so Greek yogurt is really low in calories and sugar. So yeah, a little bit of Greek yogurt, some of the acacia seeds or acacia seeds or whatever, and just a little bit of honey or maple syrup to cut the bitterness out of the yogurt. A little bit of natural sugar instead of refined sugar.
Nice. Yeah.
So
it's hard. I would say, well, okay, so 2 years ago, I was at my highest weight. I was up to 250 or 245. I don't know, around that area. Then a year ago, I was down to like 225. And yeah, I would say my biggest problem though, like my biggest addiction. It's like basically an addiction is fast food.
Yeah.
I struggle. I
It's
struggle to
hard.
not eat that for like fucking 5 days. Like if I go 5 days, I've gone a long time.
Because it's so easy to get. It's fucking everywhere. And it seems like eating healthy is hard.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. I mean, a decent sized salad is $5, but you can go to McDonald's and get 2 cheeseburgers for $1.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, the past month or so, I've been trying to avoid fast food and just buying the more expensive food. Like I'll go get
yeah.
a sandwich that has like lots of vegetables on it and shit, or I'll get a burrito bowl, or I'll get a protein shake or whatever that I can get that is healthier. And I've been coming home to cook lunch at lunchtime, which makes a big difference.
And it's nice to get out of the office too. A little bit of change of scenery. You're close enough.
Mm-hmm. So,
cool.
Yep, that's my life right now. Oh, and not related to weight at all. I'm starting 2 D&D campaigns.
What?
Yeah, so I'm DMing one for my friends back in North Carolina. We're doing it over Facebook, so that's gonna be interesting. I've never done a Facebook campaign, but I've heard lots of people do them. And then I'm doing one here that my girlfriend person is DMing, and some of my friends are joining, so I'm really excited about that.
Did you hear? I don't know if you remember, but I think it might have been you who introduced me to like this dice roller program where you can basically DM over this webpage.
Yeah.
They got hacked.
Oh yeah, you shared that.
They got fucking hacked. And so like I closed my account. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So it's too late because my email and password and name already got out there. But I don't know. I've been involved, like my shit has been hacked a couple of times, it's like, all these web pages and stuff, but still it's like, it's this thing against the people who want to take these passwords and that kind of stuff versus the security. It's always that arms race between the two.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, that page got fucking hacked. That, it's like, honestly, I wasn't surprised. Does that make sense? I was surprised I wasn't surprised when I got the alert.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, fuck. So it's just because it's just fucking out there, man. People are out there fucking hacking pages because they want to.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Craziness. So let's piss ourselves off. Eric, what's going on? What are you thinking about? What in today's news has gotten you upset?
Well, Trump's being terrible.
Trump?
Yeah. Trump's being Trump. I'm trying to think.
Did you hear that? I think it was today or yesterday that he said that he can't follow the emolument clause because, well, he just can't.
No. What is that clause?
The emoluments clause is basically like, I've got a business and I'm getting rich off of my business because I'm in government at the same time. So I'm making money from my company just because I'm in the government. So because of his hotels, people are staying at his hotels to try to get influence. Oh yeah, we booked 500 hotel rooms and booked a whatchamacallit at your hotel, a conference at your hotel. Just thought we'd let you know, buddy. You can't do that.
Right.
That's illegal. And he said he can't follow the emoluments clause well because he can't.
Sounds like Trump.
That alone should be cause for, I don't know, what's that word that starts with an I? I'm trying to think of it. Could it be maybe impeachment?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe he can't get impeached because he just can't.
I've heard some scary fucking shit that, there's speculation out there that he won't leave the White House. That he'll be like, this election is fake. It's fake news. I'm still the president.
He might. I think he's got a lot of. He's probably insane, to be honest.
No, I don't think he's insane. I think he's evil. He's not crazy.
I don't know. I think he might be delusional, but he does have lots of money.
Like I said, I don't think he's crazy. I literally don't think he's crazy. I just think that he's just a fucking narcissistic sociopath. There's a difference. I don't think he's crazy. I think he's fully under control of what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he can blow with the fucking wind, and he's trying to appease his base because he doesn't give a fuck about you and me. Right. He's trying to appease the Trump tards. God, can we? His insane fucking followers. But yeah, he doesn't give a fuck about 70% of the U.S. population. So
Trump turds.
Trump turds. That's better. Trump turds. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said the other word.
Hey, we're all learning.
Anyways, I hope you understand what I'm trying to go for here. It's just, I literally don't think he's crazy. I just think that he's just trying to just appease his followers and the rest of us be fucked. So, and it's funny because I actually said to one of my Trump following friends, I'm like, congratulations on siding with the modern day Nazis.
Mm-hmm.
It used to be a bad thing when we used, do you know the Godwin rule? Do you know about that?
How about you explain it?
Godwin rule is when something comes up and they say, oh, well, the Nazis used to do this. That's the Godwin rule or the Godwin law.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're actually in a modern day version of this. I don't think that bringing up fascism now isn't an appeal to fallacy. I actually think that it's actually something legitimate because we actually have got fascism in the White House, wrapped in a flag carrying a cross. That's fascism.
Wow.
Or another case, I mean, you have Islamic fascisms too, wrapped in a flag carrying the crescent moon of Islam. It's the same fucking difference. Anyways, I derailed you.
No, you're good. So essentially, this past week has included a lot of attacks on trans people by the Trump administration.
It is a Trump administration, so what else did we expect?
Yeah. Why the fuck did everybody vote for him? Okay. Anger. Basically, so it's been announced that transgender people can be turned away from homeless shelters if they don't fit the gender identity, because some homeless shelters are women only and some are men only, and if you're trans, you can be turned away and die in the cold, like we've seen already happen before at the fucking Christian homeless shelters. So I don't even know. Does that matter? I don't know. And then they are trying to say that trans people don't have to be treated in healthcare, and doctors have the right to not treat trans people because being transgender is not protected under the non-discrimination protections of the Affordable Care Act, because the basis of sex does not include gender identity. Therefore, they're basically erasing transgender people from existence through that. So what the fuck am I going to do if I have to get healthcare? I don't know. Healthcare for trans people is like the hardest fucking thing to access, even without non-discrimination. There's so many loopholes you have to fucking jump through. Like for most, unless you go to an informed consent clinic, which does not exist in a lot of places, you have to get psychiatric approval, usually by 2 counselors, to go to an endocrinologist who has to agree to treat you because you are trans and give you hormones. It's like this fucking awful bullshit. All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talk about jumping through some fucking hoops.
Yeah. My fucking existence is a giant loophole. But, and then the next thing they are talking about, that even if this is federal, like getting rid of transgender protections is federal, that states and local communities can still have protections, but federally, if people feel like they've been violated by a trans person's existence, that is still illegal. For instance, if people have to share a dressing room or shower with a transgender person, the administration could allow that as a violation. So if I'm in a fucking gym locker room just doing my shit, I could get like federally violated if someone wanted to take it that far, according to Trump's administration. So
Wow.
yeah, I don't know. Where the fuck do they want me? Where the fuck do they want trans people? They don't want trans people. That's the thing. So I don't know. Like if I went in the women's room, I think I'd get a lot more issues than if I went in the men's room. Especially as I continue my transition and I eventually have surgeries. Like, where the fuck do they want? Also, not everyone fits in the men or women category.
Yes.
Not even trans. Like, let's forget about trans people. Like, if we just forgot about trans people and non-binary people, let's forget about those people. You have intersex people. Approximately 1 to 2% of the population is intersex. Probably closer to 2%, but we don't have exact numbers. And they don't fit in either category either. So I don't know what they want to do about that. So yeah, I'm essentially getting erased out of existence and I have no protections, which is not super new. Like in North Carolina, I was told I couldn't have several jobs because I'm trans, and that's perfectly legal. Yeah, right now at my job, I'm fighting to include gender identity and gender expression in the protected categories in our own personal clause of non-discrimination. So hopefully they will add that. They were supposed to look at it this month, but I don't know if they did. But I would feel much better if they added that. Anyway, it's fucked up. Like, people should always have access to healthcare. People should always have access to a homeless shelter. And they shouldn't have to go through so many fucking loopholes, like even like just to get what they want.
This is crazy. The same guy that I know, as well as other people who do support Trump, are basically, I call it the fuck you, I got mine. I literally don't know how else to say it. They've got their health care. They're cis white gendered Christians. And so they're good because none of this stuff affects them at all. And so they're fine. And they literally don't give a shit about you or anybody else. We've talked about this with the tribalism aspect of this. You know what I'm saying? You're not of their tribe, so they don't give a shit about you. Do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You're not Christian. You don't claim yourself to be a woman, so you wouldn't want their dick in you. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, do you understand what I'm trying to say, right?
Yeah.
I mean, these people don't give a shit about anything that's not part of their family or that they might at some point possibly be able to put their dick in. Do you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So they don't care. That's basically what this all comes down to. And so, yeah, he even goes so far as he wants to eliminate Social Security and all that kind of stuff too. This guy is really, really fucking conservative. Wow. He wants to eliminate all social services, all of them.
Yeah, that's one of the arguments I see a lot. Well, not that they want to eliminate it necessarily, but like the big argument is that people that are struggling, we don't need to like raise the minimum wage or anything because they get so many benefits. And like, I literally work with these kids that get a bit like they get benefits, and it's not shit. All right.
No, they want you to be in abject poverty. If you get benefits, they want you to be in abject poverty, and they want you to fucking suffer until you work your way out. They want that. They literally do. They want that. And so they want you to suffer. It's the same thing. This is the same guy who also doesn't want abortion at all. He wants to ban all abortions. And so it's that they want women to suffer for the sex that they have outside of wedlock.
Mm-hmm.
Needless to say that this guy who lives in Texas, not only do they have one of the highest teenage pregnancy rates, but multiple teen pregnancy rates. Not only one child, but more than one.
Oh my gosh.
And so Texas is one of the highest in the nations because of this. And so this abstinence only sex education, that kind of stuff is bullshit, you know?
Yeah.
And so I'm just saying, I mean, this is stuff that he supports. And so he thinks that Trump is still doing right, and he still wants Obama and Hillary locked up for some kind of actually imagined crime. I don't know what they said he's done, because they've done everything they've accused Obama and Hillary of doing. So it's like, you know, Trump and her emails, or not, Trump and her emails. But there's even more people than just Hillary who's using private servers for your emails. But you bring that up and you're like, oh, it's not the same. Yeah, it is. It's definitionally the same.
Right.
So not only are they doing it, but they're doing it more, and more people are doing it. Anyways, it's just bullshit. It's all bullshit. So.
Yep. Speaking of abortion, like super quick, I just want to say that I super appreciate all the posts about women, but I would like to say that trans men can get pregnant, and non-binary people can get pregnant, and intersex people can get pregnant. So we can also all get abortions, and we should be included. Thank you.
You're right. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot of people who are writing about that. There are some, but it's harder to see. And so if I see them, I will post the articles, but it's just a lot easier to just post on regular cis women. You know what I'm saying? Because there's many more articles out there. But yes, I absolutely agree with you. 100%.
Yeah. So just if you're ever talking about abortions and fighting for women's rights, let's maybe just say people's rights. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right. 100% you're right.
Yeah. Just it sucks. Like, it sucks because this happens a lot when people talk about people that get pregnant and pregnancy and everything. And I'm like, hello, I fucking count. I mean, I know I'm a minority population, but I count.
You do.
So.
You do. Yeah, I think you're right. 100%. So, speaking of Trump, do you remember the birding station about 2 years ago, the people who took over the birding station? And this was about like land rights, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a couple of years ago. And these people got convicted of taking over this federal land, and they were literally pointing weapons, rifles at agents from the land commission and all that kind of stuff, right? Including what's the people who do the national parks? Anyways, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
They were literally pointing rifles at them. So, and a lot of people were like, yeah, if this would have been black people pointing rifles at them, they would have been just immediately shot and opened fire. Anyways, but there's no such thing as white privilege. Anyways, Trump, I believe, pardoned these guys the other day.
Wow.
And one of the things that brought this to me is that there was a guy, I want to say Afghanistan. It could be Iraq, but it's one of them.
Mm-hmm.
There was, I believe he's a Navy SEAL, a sniper, who one of the things that he got convicted for was that he got convicted of shooting, I think it was an 11-year-old girl.
Yeah.
And what I find interesting about this, and because she was just walking with some friends down the street, right? They were going to and from somewhere. But anyways, they were like, that's an illegal killing. That's what he got sentenced in a military courts martial for. And he gut shot at her. He shot her in the stomach.
Yeah.
Now, I understand that it can be hard to shoot people, especially from a very far distance. Snipers are trained to shoot for the head. Okay. There are several reasons for that. Is that it's instant death. And if you don't get the head, you might get the neck, or you'll definitely get like the lungs or something like that. It's a lot easier for that person to die quicker.
Mm-hmm.
A gut shot is a painful way, slow way to die. Do you know why bullets are so devastating when you get shot?
Why?
It's not only the inertia and the mass of the bullet. Bigger bullets, of course, cause more damage because of simple inertia and mass. But also when bullets go through, they create something called hydrostatic shock. Okay? And so this is especially thing in what bullets are called in hollow point bullets, is that when the bullet goes in, at the point of the bullet, it's actually not a point, it's a small flat, but it's designed to mushroom out. So it goes from this to this.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes from a small point to a big glob, and then it has a tendency to roll when it gets inside the body. Little hole going in, big hole going out. And that's because of the movement of the water in your cells. It's called hydrostatic shock. So it's like drop a pebble into the water and you can see, if it's shallow enough, you can see the ripples of the waves going back and forth. Mm-hmm. Same thing happens to your body because of the water inside your body.
Wow.
So basically that's what's going on. He gut shotted her. It's a slow, painful way to die. She maybe a couple of minutes, maybe 5-10 minutes it took her to die, because you're talking about not heart, lungs, intestine, or spinal cord, brain. You're talking about intestines, diaphragm, kidney, liver, that kind of stuff. It's an extremely painful way to die. And so that was a fuck you statement.
Mm-hmm.
That literally was a fuck you statement. No other way to say that. So we'll say, oh, well, he was aiming for the head and got the gut. Oh, bullshit. Don't give me that shit. He was aiming for her gut. So, yeah. Excuse us while Marble just cuts through. Excuse us.
Was he, did he have like mental issues? Did they say that?
To be honest, I don't 100% remember. I don't remember. I don't want to say yes or no. But I do know that shooting somebody in the gut is an effective fuck you. It can be interpreted almost no other way. Yeah. So you're incapacitated, but you're still alive for a couple of minutes. It's fuck you. And Trump is about ready to pardon this sociopath.
Wow.
Actually, psychopath. So Trump is about ready to pardon his ass. And a lot of people are talking about it in the military pages from both sides. Mm-hmm. And, you get that where people are like, oh, well, this guy shouldn't have been in prison because, shouldn't have been convicted because, she could have been a terrorist. Okay, well, what about the fucking rules? Do you know what I'm saying? He literally violated the rules when he shot her. So don't give me the shit about ROE, rules of engagement. He violated the rules of engagement, and that's what they fucking prosecuted him for.
Yeah.
That shot was a fuck you shot. No other way to fucking say it.
Yeah.
And so Trump has, I don't think he's pardoned that guy yet, but he signaled he wants to do it. And so he's done every other fucking thing. I mean, the guy pardoned Joe Arpaio, who was literally fucking running a slave labor camp in the fucking Texas desert.
Yeah.
So would it surprise me that if he pardoned a fucking psychopath murderer? Not in the fucking slightest. Not in the slightest.
Why is he doing this stuff?
It's to appease his base.
Why does his base want that?
I honestly think that the reason why they're doing this is because they want a Christian theocracy. I honestly think that's what it comes down to. They want a Christian theocracy, no doubt about it. They've said this stuff, that they've said it, that they want a Christian nation, how the founding fathers said that it was supposed to be. No, that's not what they said. And most of the founding fathers were agnostic at best. Some of them would have been atheists by today's standards.
Mm-hmm. Weird.
I'm just saying, it's like it is, they've firmly said that they want that they want a Christian theocracy. That's beyond doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Fuck your God, God damn it.
Fuck your God, God damn it. Every fucking episode. And you know, I feel no compunction or problem in saying that every goddamn week. None at all.
Yeah. I mean, so part of me doesn't like I feel like some people do use their religion, whatever it is, to help them. But obviously the larger picture, it's pretty destructive.
You know, 5 or 6 years ago, I posted a thread. I actually came across my timeline today, and I will reshare it. But basically, I said that most people, many people want to use their religion for good, and many of them do so. But there are the people who want to use the religion to persecute other people. It takes what is good about religion can be done with it. What is bad about religion can only be done with religion.
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what I said, is that it takes religion to make good people do evil shit most of the time.
Yeah. That's a good point.
I'll refind it and I'll share it to our Facebook page.
That's a good point. Yeah, I've mentioned this before, but in the homeless world and like the helping people world, you find a lot of religious agencies, a lot of religious people. Like that's the only reason they're helping people is their religion. And it's really kind of annoying to me because I don't really have a religion, obviously, and I'm an atheist, and I don't know. I'm like, I don't really fit here, but I still want to help people because that's what I can do that without religion. And they're like, that's weird.
And they're not doing it for their own feel-good reasons. They're doing it because they want to bring you to their church or their version of God.
Yeah, a lot of the time, yeah.
It's not about doing the right thing to do the right thing. They're doing the right thing for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
And so that's something that really kind of makes me mad, is that they're not doing it because they're being altruistic.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing it because they they want to bring them to their God. I think that if you want to have a church service after the meal, fine. But to make people go to a church service for the meal, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
And like when I was in boot camp and A school and that kind of stuff, especially A schools, that there were churches and stuff who would take sailors from Great Lakes and that kind of stuff. And you could stay at their houses and that kind of stuff. And so it was like, there'd be like 12 people in like a bunk room kind of a thing. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it was no different than staying at the Great Lakes. But anyways, you had to go to their meetings to get the meals and to hang out and that kind of shit. Like even just hanging out at their group or whatever, it's like you were still apostatized to. It's like, can I just fucking play the goddamn video game?
Wow.
You know, can I just read a fucking book?
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, you felt like you always had to be on. You couldn't just chill.
That's annoying.
It really is. And they do it on purpose. And they absolutely do it on purpose because they want you to convert. And it was like, I would go to I would go and I'd still be like, yeah, I'm still from my church. And they're like, why are you here? I'm like, because I'm not on the base.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, why don't you go home? I'm like, because I don't want to.
Yeah.
It's like you can't just fucking hang out and fucking watch TV and scratch your nuts. You know, it's like, you know, you got to listen to some fucking asshole try to fucking proselytize to you. It's like, motherfucker, I probably know more about the Bible than you do. And I actually, when they said some shit about fucking Bible verses, I brought up other ones and they're like, huh.
Wow.
Like, don't try to fucking preach the Bible to me, motherfucker. I know more about it probably than you do.
Yeah. I think I'm like I've mentioned before, I'm leaning more toward secular Buddhism type thing. And I really like certain parts of Buddhism that I've learned about so far.
Uh-huh.
Like their main thing is life is suffering, but essentially the journey is beautiful and the suffering is beautiful, and like all this stuff, all these emotions and everything make you human and shit. Whatever. I think it's I am at a point in my life where I need to find like meaning and purpose and shit. And I mean, not that everybody of any age doesn't need that. Everybody needs that, I think.
I'll tell you where I come from. Don't get me wrong. I'm not denigrating people who want to have some kind of structure for their morals. I get it. I absolutely do get it. My point of view is that this is where I think humanism comes into play, right? This is where I think me being my version of humanist, I don't know if I subscribe to all of what, you know, the humanist does. I just think that I'm more so about the golden rule than anything, which is treat people the way you want to be treated. And life is what you make it. And try to do the best that you can and hurt as few people as possible. Don't intentionally try to hurt people.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for me, that works okay. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, I get it. Do you know what I'm saying? I understand that. And I just don't think that that subjecting yourself to pain is a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? I know that there are people who are like that. I'm not saying that you are. I'm just saying that I just don't think that pain is beautiful. Pain is pain, and it should be avoided.
Okay, I think I should explain myself more. I'm not trying to subject myself to pain, but I think that existing is full of pain. Like
yes.
You are going to be afraid, you're going to be mad, you're going to be sad, you're going to hurt, and that's just part of everything. And I think as humans, or at least in our society, we tend to shove all that down, get rid of it. We don't want that, you know? Like we
Yeah.
look at all of those feelings as bad, but I think that we really need to embrace all those feelings, have them, experience them, and the good ones, the happy, the excited, like anything, all the stuff, right? You need to have all your feelings, all your emotions out there and experience them, process them. And then I think you can live and be freer and happier and just better.
Yeah.
And I think that's what I'm trying to explain. Like all of those are beautiful, but in our society, we shove all the bad ones down.
What I'm trying to say is that I think that we should deal with the negative emotions and that kind of stuff. That's what I'm not saying shove them away, lock them away, but I think that when we experience them and why are we angry? You know, why does this make me feel bad? That kind of stuff. I think we need to deal with those emotions instead of shutting them, locking them away. That's what I meant when I said that. So
yeah,
I
feel like we agree, but
I think so too. I think we're just coming at it from slightly different points of view and slightly different word choices. I think that we agree on it. We're just coming at it from different points of view.
Yeah.
So,
which is fine, and we don't have to agree, obviously. No. Oh my god. No, but yeah, I do think that's something that's important to me is like looking at our human journey as something that is beautiful, all the parts of it, and experiencing it and all that shit. And I'm trying to work on it because I did shove away all of my emotions. Like I honestly don't think you can just shove down bad emotions. You end up shoving all the good ones too, and you just can't experience anything. And for me, that just came with like a vague suicidal feeling, and then that's it. And that's what I was, and that's what I'm still struggling through. And I'm trying to get to where I can experience every emotion, and I'm still really fucking struggling with a lot of them. Yeah. So, yeah. Fun stuff.
Fun stuff. Fun stuff. So you want to go on to some other topics and talk about something a little more fun?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So you talked about your D&D group, but did I tell you that my character may have died?
I think you mentioned that last week.
Yeah.
Your pally?
So my pally, my Weapon of Legacy pally he's at -12 right now. We haven't played again. So that particular one is going to come back up on next weekend because we're not playing this weekend because of Memorial Day. So, but yeah, next weekend. But I'm playing a magic user guy. This guy is a fucking mage, and I normally don't play mages. This guy was a pre-gen that they generated up, and they've kind of kept him going. And he's, I think, about ready to turn 17th. And so he's a beguiler mage. And so if he uses beguiler spells, he takes a mage spell and cancels it off of that and casts it through beguiler. And so, or the other way around. He takes from one class, casts it through the other. But like for instance, like fireball, I can take a 40-foot fireball, right? 40 foot in diameter, 40 foot in radius, diameter fireball, and I can make it how many 5-foot sections and cast them wherever I want to, as long as they're all within range.
Oh, nice.
So I can take, what is it? 10 5x5, or what is it? 4 10x10s or whatever, and put them wherever I want within the spell. I can shape it. And then I can also take it, instead of making it fire, I can make it sonic. I can make it acid. It doesn't have to be fire. It can be a cold fireball. Here, hey, take it. You're immune to fire. Here, take an ice ball.
Oh my god. Talk
take
about blue balls.
Ball. Huh?
Talk about blue balls.
Talk about blue balls. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty cool. But like, since fireball is a 3rd level spell, if I go to shape it, I have to take a 4th level spell to do it, because shaping gives it a +1. So I've got to sacrifice a 4th level spell from the other list because I'm shaping the spell.
Shit.
That's the rub.
There you go.
So I'm actually thinking about going Archmage with this guy.
And what would that do?
It basically means I'm fucking Billy Badass. I like the Archmage.
Oh, okay.
The Archmage prestige class. So it's 10 levels because it's a prestige class. So because Beguiler is a base class and so is Wizard. So this would be a prestige class. So that's still pretty cool.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Want to hear about the character I'm creating for my D&D campaign?
Yes.
Okay, so I am a halfling, so I'm like very short, 40 pounds, small. I am a bard. I fucking love bards.
Bards suck.
What?
Bards suck.
Why do you say that?
Because bards, it takes a long time for bards to actually do cool shit.
Well, I really like just fucking around and being very charismatic and getting my way.
I get it. I mean, you're like, you can be kind of like the fucking James Bond character at low level. But like, we had a high level game for a while, and when our bard would sing for us, the player was an asshole. But when he would sing, he would give everybody like +6 to attack and damage and saving throws. That's pretty fucking serious.
Yeah.
+6 to everything? Fuck you. It's like, damn.
Yeah.
So look, we were rolling over shit,
Mm-hmm.
But at low levels, bards suck.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I really like playing a bard. So, anyway, I have an Australian accent, which I'm still working on how to do. And
oh God.
And I play the Yuki, I call, which is in my head Australian for ukulele. It's not, but it is in my head. Play the Yuki, and I was a camel rancher. Oh, I'm a cowboy too. I'm a cowboy halfling bard with an Australian accent, and I'm gay. Is that enough for you?
Gee, where to go that your character would be gay? Never would have thunk of that one.
I know. I can't make a not gay character. I mean, I did have one that was bi, and he was mostly into women, but yeah.
I'm just saying, I just think that when it comes for D&D, I just think that leave sex and the religion itself out of it, because there's been times when I've seen people who play a paladin try to play a paladin as they see a paladin, and it's always bad. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, and they just the character just ends up falling flat. It's like, you can play a lawful good religious paladin and not end up being like most hypocritical Christians.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. And I just think that, oh, well, I want to have sex with this bar wench. Nobody cares.
No, well, yeah, that's fair. But as a charismatic bard, using sex to get your way is very helpful.
This is true. And we have had the bard put his schmooze on certain characters to get his way. And he did. Mm-hmm. And so, but unless you're using it very strategically, it gets very tiring. Do you know what I'm saying? So,
I think it depends on your party too. Some people
this is true.
Think it's more fun than others. Okay.
This is true. I guess I've had a few people play bards, like 3 or 4. And I guess maybe that they weren't very good players. I'm not saying you're not, because I've never played in a group with you, so I don't know how you play. But the few people that I've had, it's like 2 were just bad players, and then the last guy was just an asshole. He ended up getting kicked out of the group because he was just an asshole. He just said and did stupid shit. The guy cheated at his fucking rolls all the time.
Oh God.
The guy was just a schmuck.
Wow.
And so, and just like, yeah. We still talk about that guy.
Oh, really?
We still talk about that guy. It's like, hey, you pulling this guy? We'll say his name.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, no, motherfucker, look at the dice right there. I roll my shit down a dice tower. I'm not cheating. It's right here. Come take a look.
Mm-hmm. I would love. You remember playing 10 Candles?
Yeah, of course I do.
I mean, well, hopefully. Just testing your dementia.
I drool on myself, but I still have my full recollections.
Okay, great. Same. What? No, I have a bad memory. Anyway, so I would love to play a game of something like Dungeons and Dragons, but sort of like in the style of 10 Candles. Like very simple, like you just have certain note cards and stuff. I'm going to see if something like that exists, or I'm going to create something and I want to do it. It's going to be really cool.
Cool.
Yeah. And then maybe we could play it on here with some people, other podcasters or something.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. Why don't you thank our patrons while I go get the Trump game?
Okay. Thank you, patrons. Really appreciate you. Also, if you're not a patron, feel free to follow us on patreon.com/OAF. Currently, we have 4 patrons, and we really love all 4 of you. And we have several other followers, and we super appreciate you. And we have people that were patrons that can't be anymore because money's hard, and I totally get it. Still appreciate you. Anyone that listens, I super appreciate. So you definitely don't have to give us money for me to appreciate you. But if you want to like us on YouTube, subscribe to us, or like us on iTunes or Google Play, SoundCloud, Facebook, like us, share, follow, listen, let us know what you want to hear about. If you participate in the conversation, we can do a better job. Maybe, probably not. I'm still a slacker, but maybe. Cool. Just let us know. We like you all. And
we do like you all.
Hope you're having a great day. Thanks for listening to this.
Seriously, we really do. Have a good day. You know, we really enjoy doing this. We really do. Yeah. Most of the time when Eric isn't like, I don't know if I want to.
I know. Oh my God, I'm the worst. I did this last night too. So last night I went out and I wasn't having commitment issues. I was just being young and going out. And then I was like, yo, it's like 3 a.m. I don't know if I'm going to be awake at 10 o'clock to do this. But then I woke up and I messaged Matthew and I was like, hey, I'm awake. Let's do it.
Rockstar.
Woo! Yay.
Okay.
Anyway.
For those who don't know, this is a no Trumps game. So there are 2 quotes on each card, and I will do my best Trump impersonation for both. And Eric, because he's the only person who's here other than me, will try to guess which one is Donald Trump.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Quote number 1. Hang on a second. I got to take a swig of my beer.
Slurp that pussy.
Slurp that pussy. Okay. Think. That's the first step. Use all your power to utilize and develop that capability.
I need that repeated.
Think. That's the first step. Use all your power to utilize and develop that capability. Quote number 1.
Okay.
Quote number 2. Think about every problem, every challenge we face. The solution to each starts with education.
Trump wouldn't say anything about education, I don't think. So we're going to go back to number 1.
Number 1, think. That's the first step. Use all of your power to utilize and develop that capability. Trump.
Yes! That one was kind of hard.
That capability, that's like a 4-syllable word.
I know.
He said something more than 3 syllables.
He does know the hugest words.
It's 10 letters, 4 syllables.
Wow.
Holy shit. Think about every problem, every challenge we face. The solution to each starts with education. George H.W. Bush.
All right. Better than Trump.
Better than Trump. Is it bad that I look at George Bush Jr. and think, the good old days?
Probably.
Yeah. Card number 2, quote number 1. We are totally predictable, and predictable is bad. Quote number 2. Reality is wrong. Dreams are for real.
Number 1.
Yep, number 1 is Trump.
Yes!
Number 2, Tupac.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Number 3, card number 3. Quote number 1. Look, 85% of the Democrats think the economy is fine. What does that tell you about these people?
All right.
Number 2. And it just seems the economy does better under Democrats than the Republicans.
Is this a trick question?
No.
I feel like...
Would you like me to read it again without... Would you like me to read it again?
You
Do you need it
can.
again?
You can.
Number 1. Look, 85% of the Democrats think the economy is fine. What does that tell you about these people? Number 2. And it just seems the economy does better under the Democrats than the Republicans.
Uh-huh. I want to say 1, but I'm gonna say 2.
You are 100% for today.
Yeah.
Donald J. Trump said, and it just seems the economy does better under Democrats than the Republicans. Trump said that.
That doesn't surprise me.
Because he doesn't give a shit about either side.
Mm-mm.
He does not care. Look, 85% of the Democrats think the economy is fine. What does that tell you about these people? Motherfucking Rush Limbaugh. The 4-wife fucking, what was it? Hooked on painkillers and that kind of stuff guy who thought that he was the moral majority's mouthpiece.
Do you think Trump is chaotic neutral? Where would you put him?
Chaotic neutral.
That's what I was thinking.
Chaotic neutral. One nation under me.
Yeah. Gross.
Trump isn't evil. He's not.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that he's a sociopath. And sociopaths are just all about themselves. And that's where the chaotic neutral is. He doesn't give a shit about anybody but himself. He will do whatever it takes to make him better. It's all that fucking matters. He doesn't. The only thing he cares about are his kids after they become adults.
Mm.
He was an absentee father. He was not there for any of his kids. And she's like, it wouldn't surprise me that if he had DNA tests done on every one of his kids to make sure that they're his. Because his oldest son, Eric, looks more like his first wife than him. That's for sure. Definitely took after the mother. Marlena Maples, I think was her name. But anyways, does not take after him. But all the rest of his kids sure do look like him. But honestly, it wouldn't surprise me if he did fucking DNA tests. He is all about himself, what's good for him, and by extension, his children. He doesn't give a shit about anybody else. Anybody else who's a sycophant is one of these things where it's like the closer you are to him, the more he knows you. The closer you get, sooner or later, the faster you're out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like an asteroid streaking towards the sun. It gets close to the sun, and then soon it gets ejected back out. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly how it is. He does not give a shit about anybody but himself and, by some extent, his kids. That's all he cares about.
Pretty much.
I just found something like totally off the point and something that's kind of interesting. Did you watch Game of Thrones, or have you seen any of the Game of Thrones? You're not really a Game of Thrones fan?
No.
I watched it, and I didn't come into it until like 3 seasons ago, and I binged it all like a month before the season 5 began, I think is what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, so there's a character on there. Her name is Sansa, and I forget the name of the woman that's there. She actually married one of the Jonas brothers, actually, just not that long ago. Right after it released, she did a Vegas wedding and got married to, I think, Joe Jonas, one of the Jonas brothers. But anyways, she's got a movie coming out that I'm really kind of excited to see, Dark Phoenix.
Yeah.
And so I'm really looking forward to seeing her in that movie. I'm like, oh shit. And then, because like I saw here, like on the background in the TV is one of the X-Men Apocalypse is on there. She's in X-Men Apocalypse. I didn't even realize that she was in that movie.
Oh yeah, I didn't either.
So yeah, I just forgot that she was there. So, but it's like now I see her. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Just it was interesting. Have you heard about there's a TV show that I've been watching that I've just been absolutely fascinated about. It's about Chernobyl, the Chernobyl accident.
Oh, I think I've heard about it, but I haven't seen it.
It's an amazing show. I'm sure that there are some details that are wrong. I'm sure they've probably combined some of the characters and that kind of stuff. It's a docudrama, but I think they're trying to get the details mostly right. And it's just having some familiarity with radiation and nuclear weapons and that kind of stuff, as far as like, so everybody in the Navy gets trained in what we called CBRD, chemical, biological, radiological defense. So I know a little bit about the stuff. Like, and I've also got some interest in stuff like nuclear reactors and that kind of stuff, because one of the first nuclear reactors was built not too far from where I live in within 10 miles of me in the forest preserves by Oregon National Laboratory.
Okay.
Not that far. So I've actually got a piece of one of the reactor from it. Yeah. Anyways, it's not radioactive, but anyways. So it's like when the reactor exploded, the graphite cap ended up being on the roof. And so like this one guy was like, we need to get over the fire. And this professor was like, if we go over the fire, we'll be dead in a week. And so they didn't. And so the pilot, the professor said that to the pilot, and the pilot moved off. They poured boron and sand into this. And they were supposed to do kind of like, if here's the fire, they were supposed to kind of do like some passings, but not go right over the fire. Well, the one pilot of the first helicopter, the first Hind helicopter, went right over it and just crashed because of the fucking radiation from the fucking fire. A burning, out of control reactor exposed to the atmosphere, and the pilot went right up above it.
Wow.
Everybody was probably dead or dying before the helicopter hit the ground. The helicopter crash just literally just finished them off. So, and then the third episode actually just played last week, and you start to see the people from the initial fire teams and that kind of stuff. You starting to see them die, and it's fucking horrifying. And we're talking like 5 days later, they're dying from exposure of radiation. And it's just like, as somebody who's got some knowledge of this stuff, it was like looking at this shit going, I'd rather eat a bullet. I would rather eat a bullet. If I got exposed and I knew I was exposed that bad, I'd shoot myself in the head. It would be better going that way than dying screaming in agony.
Yeah.
Shoot me in the face. No way. No way. So the third episode was hard to watch, but it's a good show. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it's like they're not pulling any punches. And I like that they're not pulling any punches. But it was hard to watch because, the humanity in you just be like, man, that's fucking rough. That's what I'm saying. It was just a hard to watch episode. It's like, I I just shoot me in the face. I said I'd rather eat a gun, and because I posted about this in another page, and a couple of people liked my comment. They're like, because they agreed with what I said because we were talking about the third episode.
Wow.
And yeah, a couple of people agreed with me. They'd be like, yeah, I agree with you. I just fucking eat a gun too. So what about you? Anything new and interesting that you're paying attention to?
No. No. I've been playing some video games. Speaking of radiation, I've been playing this game called Metro Last Light. I think I played it a long time ago, but I don't super remember it. And they did a remake for Xbox One and PS4.
Yeah.
And it's about living in the metro after. So basically, these alien shadow things came to Earth, and they don't know if they're good or bad, but they thought they were bad, so they nuked it. Of course, that's what humans do. They're dumb.
Yeah.
So now you have the fallout for 20 years and shit, or 50 years, or however long it's been, and you still can't go to the surface without a mask. And they're living in the metro system, which is really vast. This is happening in Russia and stuff, and yeah, it's really scary. I was playing it at night with my window open, and these things jumped on me in the game, and I screamed because it was terrifying. Then I heard noises outside, and it was just really scary. It was 1 o'clock in the morning, and I love playing scary games though. It's fun.
It can be.
Yeah.
It can be. One of my favorite video games to play, at the arcade, was House of the Dead or House of the Damned or some shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that they time these games where you are going to eat lives at certain points. They do it on purpose, where there's nothing you're not fast enough to get a bead on them. And I think they do it on purpose.
Yeah, for sure.
To make you pay quarters.
Yeah.
So it's that's just stupid. In some ways, I'm really kind of annoyed on how people play video games, especially the first-person shooters and that kind of stuff. It's I call it the Halo effect. And Halo is like Halo from the video game. Mm-hmm. It's you don't just run out into open field in a firefight. That's a good way to end up dead. Mm-hmm. It's you're going to fight from cover to cover to cover. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Being uncovered while shooting, unless you're in a tactical advantage position and the enemy is falling back, you don't stand exposed shooting. You're going to be from around corners or hidden or all kinds of, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And you get people who run around and, shoot from open. It's man, that's not how you do shit in fucking real life. And I just find it funny is that, people are like, oh, you're a pussy hiding behind the thing. It's no, I also don't want to die. Mm-hmm. And it's because you don't do that in fucking real life. You just don't.
Yeah.
It's go ahead and jump out from behind that thing. I'll be more than happy to shoot you in the face and have a nice day.
I do think you bring in a very interesting perspective.
Thanks.
Yeah. Because most people, when they're playing these games, they're not thinking oh, I'm doing this in real life. You know what I mean? Bless you.
Excuse me. Oh.
3 sneezes is the best luck.
I usually do sneeze in 3s. But yeah, I've actually had people talk shit. And so it was I had somebody be oh, you're the worst person at this game. It's because you've actually never been in combat. If you had been, you would have been playing like I do. And they're like, oh, did you lose your dick in the war? I'm like, yeah, inside your mom.
Oh my God. Wow. Yeah. It's just a very interesting thing. Yeah, I don't think most people think about actually being in combat unless they have been.
Yeah. Yeah. So. And then people are like, oh, well, I can see the thing is people are like, oh, well, it's a video game, so I can go out there and do that. Yeah, you can, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, like, for like Destiny and Halo and like these games, I prefer the single shot semi-automatic rifles because I think that they're better for aimed shots. Do you know what I'm saying? So I'd rather stay back in from behind some kind of cover and shoot at you looking down the scope or looking down the sights. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
My hit rate's pretty good.
I would
So
imagine.
so I'm sure that there are other people who are a lot better, and I'm sure there are people who are a lot worse. But yeah, that's how shit's really fucking done. It's like, have you ever seen the movie Battle Los Angeles?
Yes.
The aliens and that kind of stuff. There's a lot of shit in that movie that's wrong, but some of that movie is okay. Like at the end when they finally get the tactical advantage and the alien, as you look in the movie, they're usually firing from cover and that kind of stuff because you only got one fucking life. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
so, but when the aliens start pulling back at the end and the sergeant was like, advance, that's when you advance. That's when you come out of cover when the enemy's retreating. That's when you do that. So that was right. If you look at that movie, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of bullshit in that movie, but how they fight in a lot of ways is pretty accurate. They're fighting from behind cover on top of things, you know, it's like from angles and directions that you don't expect. That's good tactical fighting.
Good to know.
It's
We should
not
talk
bad.
about a movie sometime. Like just analyze it or some shit. Have you analyze it?
We should.
That would be interesting.
That would be fun. Anyways, so it's noon. I'm hungry.
Me too. This has been a great show.
It has been. I've really enjoyed this one.
Yeah.
Next week we might have a guest. So we're going to confirm this week, and hopefully we'll have a guest next week. And so we'll see about that.
Yeah. Should be fun.
Yeah, it should be fun. Anyways, so this is Matthew, and for Eric, this has been the Odd Atheist Friends, and we'll see you again next time. Bye.
Bye.